Did she like the place when she finally saw it?
Oh, she loved it. The light in the kitchen especially, it comes in the afternoon, and it's just lovely.
That's good. I'm 29, and I live alone in Columbus in a one-bedroom I moved into 2 years ago. And I work in project coordination, which means I spend most of my day making sure other people have what they need to do their jobs. It was a Tuesday, my slow TV night. Leftover pasta balanced on my knee, phone in my other hand, half watching something I couldn't tell you the name of right now, when the family group chat started going. It usually runs a little behind. I'll get a burst of messages hours after whatever the news actually was, photos that load in the wrong order, a string of reactions to something that already resolved itself. This time it was moving photos, a whole series of them, loading slowly the way they always do on that thread, one by one. My parents unloading a U-Haul in front of a building with a green awning. My mother holding a box labelled kitchen in thick marker. My father on the floor of an empty room with a bed frame half assembled around him. And the captions were warm, the kind of captions that come from people who are genuinely having a good day. My sister's new place is in Austin, 3 bedrooms, and she just turned 26, and she was glowing in the one photo she was actually in, holding a plant she'd apparently been keeping in her car for the drive down.
So exciting!
Yeah, just wanted someone to have the address.
Of course, of course. Let us know if you need anything.
I think I'm good.
Okay, well, you always land on your feet.
I looked at those photos for a while and then I put my phone face down on the cushion next to me and kept eating. My apartment, the one I moved into 2 years ago, was a one-bedroom I packed myself over a long weekend, starting on a Friday after work and finishing Sunday night. And I remember texting my mum the address once I had it confirmed, just so someone had it the way you do. She replied, "So exciting." Heartensius with 2 exclamation points, and then 4 days later, my phone made that small chime it makes for Venmo. And the notification sat on my screen for a second before it dimmed back to black. And the memo said, "Moving help." And the amount was $50. I used it the following week on groceries, eggs, olive oil, the kind of pasta I was eating on Tuesday night, because the move itself was already done by then. It's still in my transaction history that Venmo, sitting 2 entries below a grocery charge from the same week. And I don't go looking for it, but I've seen it when I've been scrolling back for other things. You drove down with her?
Well, she needed the extra hands.
Right.
The U-Haul was actually a little too big, which, your father, you know how he is about getting the size wrong.
Did she like the place when she finally saw it?
Oh, she loved it. The light in the kitchen especially, it comes in the afternoon, and it's just lovely.
That's good. The following Sunday, I called home, which is what I do most Sundays, and my mom answered on the second ring the way she usually does. She was in a good mood, which made sense, and she told me about the Austin apartment in real detail, the way the kitchen light comes in the afternoon, the neighborhood, a taco place they found 2 blocks down that had a line out the door on a Saturday morning. She described the drive down, a detail about the U-Haul being slightly too big for what they ended up needing, something about the hotel they stayed at on the way. At some point, not as a loaded thing, just as a sentence in a longer paragraph, my mum said that it just felt like the right time to go, that my sister really needed the extra hands. I said, yeah, totally, and I meant it enough that I didn't feel like I was lying. And we finished the call the usual way, with plans to talk next week and a small warm goodbye.
You never really posted much when you moved, did you?
I posted one thing.
I don't think I saw it. I wasn't on there yet, probably.
No, you weren't.
Well, you seem settled pretty fast. I remember thinking that.
After I hung up, I was sitting in the same spot on my couch, which is the same couch I moved in with, which I carried up a flight of stairs by myself with one end braced against the wall, and I opened my Photos app for no real reason. I found the 3 pictures I took of my apartment on move-in day. A mattress flat on the floor because the frame wasn't up yet, 2 duffel bags by the door, a cardboard box with MISC written on it in my own handwriting because I'd run out of specific categories by hour 6. I'd posted one of them to Instagram that night, the one of the empty main room before anything was in it, and the caption was just home, lowercase, and 12 people liked it. My parents weren't on Instagram then, which is just a fact, and I turned that fact over for a second, standing there in my kitchen 2 years later. I closed the Photos app without doing anything and opened a different one, and that was the night.
Okay, wait. Can you see the shelf from there?
Yeah, it looks good.
Dad did the whole thing, I just held one side.
She held more than one side.
It took like 40 minutes. I thought it would be worse.
Yeah, they go faster with two people. Later that week was my sister's housewarming, which was on FaceTime because I couldn't be there, and it was genuinely nice. She'd already made friends with someone in the building. There was music playing, and my parents were there in person, and at some point they toasted with plastic cups because she hadn't unpacked the glasses yet. In the background of the shot, visible over my dad's left shoulder, was a shelf. The kind that comes in a flat box with a bag of hardware and instructions that have no words, just small diagrams that assume you have a partner to hold one end. I recognized it because I'd seen it in the moving photos, half assembled on the floor in one of the earlier pictures, and now up on the wall, level, with a small plant on the middle row. I have a shelf too, in my living room, the same general type, and I put it together alone with a YouTube tutorial open on my laptop propped against the wall, pausing and rewinding the same 40-second segment, probably 4 times. One of the brackets is slightly off, not enough to matter structurally, just enough that the left side sits a millimeter lower than the right if you're looking at it straight on. 2 months later, my friend Keisha was moving across town, and she asked if anyone could help with the big furniture, and I said yes, before I thought about it very hard, borrowed a car from a coworker, took the day off, showed up with 2 coffees, one of which was hers. That evening, I was back in my apartment, and I got a text from my sister with a photo of the Austin apartment fully arranged. The rug down, plants on the windowsill, the shelf in the corner with the plant on the middle row, clearly level, clearly 2-person work visible in the finished thing. The caption was, "Finally feels like home." And I typed back a heart, the red one. And I meant it, or most of it. The part that was glad for her I meant completely, and the rest of it I sent anyway. I set my phone on the kitchen counter and turned on the tap and waited for it to run cold, which takes a while in this apartment. And then I filled a glass and drank the whole thing standing there, looking at the window above the sink, which faces the building next door. The group chat had something in it earlier today. My mum reacting with a heart to a photo my sister posted 3 hours before. The reaction arriving late the way they always do. And I tapped a thumbs up and put my phone in my bag. The shelf is still in the living room, slightly off on the left side, and I have not fixed the bracket. Some mornings I notice it, and most mornings I don't. I just keep thinking about that shelf, the bracket, the way the left side sits just low enough to see if you're looking straight at it, and the way you stop seeing things when they've been there long enough.